Hi, I'm Kenzie. Welcome back to my podcast. If you are just joining, welcome. Today we will be talking about my 24th Blue's Clues VHS, Shapes and Colors. This VHS includes Shape Searchers and Colors Everywhere. First, let's talk about Shape Searchers. This episode starts out with Joe telling the viewer that he and Blue were just about to play Shape Searchers. He asked the viewer if they would like to play too. First, Blue picked a shape from her bag of shapes. The first shape she picked out was a square, Joe's favorite shape. Now our job was to search and see if we can find anything that's shaped like a square. We found some squares on Joe's shirt and a picture frame shaped like a square. Joe thought the living room was a great place to play Shape Searchers. Then he asked Blue where she wants to search for shapes. That's when Blue wanted to play Blue's Clues, but first Joe had to get rid of the paw print. He snapped it away. Then Blue wanted us to find another shape, a circle. The phone buttons and side table drawer's eyes and knob were circles. And so the game Blue's Clues has begun. The viewer spotted the first clue, which is a cash register. After the first clue was found, tickety talk was heard. She wanted to play Shape Searchers in the bedroom. The next shape we had to find was a triangle. The tree was shaped like a triangle. The next shape we had to find was an oval. The turtle shell was shaped like an oval. The next shape we had to find was a rectangle. The little door was shaped like a rectangle. After finding shapes in the bedroom, the viewer spotted the second clue, which is a cart. After the second clue was found, it's mail time. Mailbox gave Joe a rectangular letter with a square-shaped stamp stuck to it. In the letter, our friends were shown playing Shape Searchers themselves, and they were looking for circles. After saying goodbye, Blue skidooed into the felt frame, which is shaped like an oval. Joe skidooed too. There were so many shapes in the felt frame. On the way, Joe found a square and a triangle. Then he found a rectangle and an octagon, named Rectangle and Octagon respectively. They wanted to make something together, but they didn't know what. We decided to help make a sign. There were so many signs to choose from. The viewer picked the correct sign made from a rectangle for the post with an octagon on top. After making a sign, we found other shapes, an oval, a triangle, and a crescent. They wanted to make a fish. There were so many fish to choose from. The viewer picked the correct fish made from an oval for the body, a triangle for a tail, and a crescent for the fin. After making a fish, we found some more shapes. 2 circles, another rectangle, and a trapezoid. They wanted to make a car. There were so many cars to choose from. The viewer picked the correct car made from 2 circles for the wheels, a rectangle on top, and a trapezoid on the very top. After making a car, it was time to skidoo back home. The viewer spotted the third clue, which is food. That's when Joe realized we had all 3 clues to figure out where Blue wanted to search for shapes, and it was time to sit in the thinking chair. It was time to think. We were trying to figure out where Blue wants to search for shapes, and our clues were a cash register, a cart, and food. Joe thought there was some place where you would use a cart. You could put food in the cart. Then you could bring the cart of food up to the cash register. The viewer guessed correctly that Blue wants to search for shapes at a grocery store. At that point, Joe realized we just figured out Blue's Clues. After the celebratory song, Joe and Blue went to the grocery store to play Shape Searchers. Joe picked out a shape out of the bag of shapes, a triangle. Then Blue and the viewer went to search for a triangle, the cheese. Joe wondered what shape we should find next. That's when crescent entered the scene. Blue and the viewer went to find a crescent, the rolls. Then shapes were popping up everywhere and Joe exclaimed, "Look at all those shapes!" After a fun day of finding shapes, it was time to say so long, but sing just one more song. Now let's talk about the episode as a whole. I feel like kids can learn a lot if they want to learn about shapes. Shapes are fun to learn about, and trying to think of something fun to do with them is also a great way for kids to learn. All in all, it's a good episode. Now let's talk about colors everywhere. This episode starts out with Joe in the painting apron because he and his friends were finger painting in the backyard. Blue was setting up the painting area. Shovel and pail were there too. Then Blue had red and yellow paint on her paws. She rubbed them together and red and yellow mixed to make a new color, orange. Isn't that amazing how 2 colors can make a new color? It's like magic. Anyway, Blue used the orange paint to paint Orange Kitten. You see, Joe and his friends were using finger paints to make pictures of their friends. They were calling it our Portrait of Pals. Then Blue had all kinds of pictures of their friends they were going to add to the Portrait of Pals. And of course, Joe would add the viewer to the Portrait of Pals too. Then Blue thought of someone else she wanted to add to the painting. The question was, who does Blue want to add to the painting? That's when Blue wanted to play Blue's Clues. But first, Joe got rid of the paw print by scooting it away. Then he got his handy-dandy notebook. Side table drawer asked Joe what his favorite color is. Green, like his shirt. Side table drawer's favorite color was orange, like her drawer. Joe thought orange was a nice color. After singing the song about how to play Blue's Clues, Joe changed his shirt from green to orange because orange was his new favorite color. And so the game Blue's Clues has begun. The viewer spotted the first clue, which is the color blue. After the first clue was found, Joe went outside to help add some more friends to the painting. Pale painted Shovel, who was the color yellow. Shovel wanted to paint Joe in his green shirt. The problem was Joe was still in his orange shirt. He changed into his green shirt. Now Shovel can paint him. Not. They didn't have the color green. That was a problem, but not for long. The viewer suggested we could mix the colors, like we mixed red and yellow to make orange. So Shovel mixed blue and yellow to make green. Then Joe wanted to paint Purple Kangaroo. The problem was they didn't have purple paint. So Blue decided to mix blue and red to make purple. Joe was amazed by all the colors we made. Orange, green, and purple. After some great color mixing, it's mail time. Joe asked Mailbox what his favorite color was. Yellow, like the color of the letter. In the letter, our friends were playing a colors game. After saying goodbye, something was different about Joe. He was wearing a different colored shirt. Yellow. Joe wondered if we could find some things that were yellow. The kitchen definitely had a lot of things that were yellow. The viewer spotted the second clue, which is the color yellow. No, not on the yellow bananas, just the color yellow. After the second clue was found, Blue scooted into the book about colors. Joe did too. There were so many colors to look at. Red and blue and even orange. Speaking of orange, the color orange needed help finding two of his color friends. We decided to help because we love looking for colors. It turned out yellow and red make orange, blue and red make purple, and blue and yellow make green. Then another color entered the scene, Violet. She needed help finding her two color friends. It turned out purple and blue make violet, red and orange make vermilion, and blue and green make aquamarine. Then another color entered the scene, Chartreuse. She needed help finding her two color friends. It turned out yellow and green make chartreuse, yellow and orange make marigold, and red and purple make magenta. After mixing some colors, Joe sang a song about colors being everywhere. After that, Blue and Joe skidooed home, and Joe changed his shirt from yellow to red. That's when the viewer spotted the third clue, which is a puppy. That's also when Joe realized we had all three clues to figure out who Blue wants to add to the painting, and it was time to sit in the thinking chair. It was time to think. We were trying to figure out who Blue wants to add to the painting, and our clues were the color blue, the color yellow, and a puppy. Joe thought, what if we mix the colors? Blue and yellow make green, but who do we know that's a puppy and is the color green? The viewer guessed correctly that Blue wants to paint Green Puppy. At that point, Joe realized we just figured out Blue's clues. After the celebratory song, Green Puppy came over so Blue could add her to the painting. And then the portrait of Pals was complete. Everyone admired it. Joe saw Green Puppy next to Blue, the viewer, and him in the green shirt. That's when he realized he was not in his green shirt. He went to change. Then he came back in his green shirt. After admiring the portrait of Pals and seeing so many colors, it was time to say so long, but sing just one more song. Now let's talk about the episode as a whole. I feel like kids can learn a lot if they want to learn about colors. Colors are definitely everywhere you look. I love colors. That's why I love rainbows and butterflies. They're colorful too. All in all, it's a good episode. So yeah, that's Shapes and Colors. If you would like to play again, just go back to the beginning. And remember, you can do anything that you want to do. Bye!